Yo, what is going on, boys? Sekapoko here, bringing you another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. For this, we're doing over my Treasure Mode Kizaru showcase for the Penta Max Treasure Mode Kizaru. That means he's fully candied, rainbow maxed, and limit broken, special maxed, socketed, all that shit. A little brief thing on this video is I actually recorded this video well before the new Legend Nami for Anniversary was announced. And I think I'm going to record a second video with Treasure Mode Kizaru and Nami, and if I don't pull the Nami, or do something of that kind, because they actually pair really, really well together, and there's probably a way that you can get that done if you don't pull the Nami. So this video doesn't showcase, of course, the Nami, but it does showcase something like the potential damage of this ability, of this character, and it'll give you a nice idea of what to expect when building teams for the future. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So let's talk a little bit about Treasure Mode Kizaru. So Treasure Mode Kizaru is probably the worst Treasure Mode character out there, and he's very disappointing. I think he maxes out at like 1590 or something like that attack, or 1580, and when he's fully candied, I think it's like 1780 or something like that. Somewhere around there attack. Solaris didn't get a chance to put it all in, but if you add up all the base attack and you get a maxed, everybody knows what he maxes at this point. His captain ability is going to be boost the attack of Dex, Psi, and Int characters by 2.5, which is initially just like, it's shit already. You're like, oh, fuck. He's going to reduce cooldowns at the start of the adventure by 1, which is good. Nice for speed teammates. And if there's a Dex, Psi, and Int character in your crew, boost the chain multiplier by 1.5. So, when I was playing around with this, I actually was thinking this character is really weak. And then when we got into the showcase, I started seeing some of the potential of this character, and as we kept going, it became better and better and better, but there was definitely flaws in the unit overall. So my recommendation of this unit is it's really good for the new Legend Nami as a sub, especially since it makes Dex beneficial for Dex characters, right? That part I didn't really get, but there was other ways you can use this character. You can use it on like a Luffy team or something. I don't know. There's probably going to be other potential for this character. The Sailor ability is very awkward, especially for the new Nami, but I guess it allows Dex Swords to be beneficial outside of the new Nami, so there are other ways you can get around that. Now, his Limit Break Sailor ability is really nice, the one that's not Dex Swords beneficial for everybody. It's going to restore his own special by 3 turns when rewound. So that means that, to me, that there is going to be some content very soon that's going to have a special rewind that is going to be very annoying, and Treasure Mode Kizaru is going to be perfect for it. His special ability is going to be cut the current HP of one enemy by 20%, lock all orbs for 1 turn, and then boost the attack of the characters with the same type as your captain by 1.75 for 3 turns. So if you have a Dex captain, it is a 1.75 Dex boost. If you have a Strength captain, a 1.75 Strength boost, etc. And that part is actually okay. It's going to max all the way down to 12 turns when he's fully special maxed, and that part's okay, I guess. And he's also going to get anti-heal reduction as well as pinch healing. And his pinch healing is heal 50% of his recovery at the end of every turn. His recovery is going to max out somewhere around like 400, but I would still not recommend getting recovery candy as a character. I would go HP and attack, just because getting recovery candies on your character for pinch healing is kind of weird. I don't recommend doing that. Overall, this unit is a mediocre Treasure Mode unit and definitely the worst Treasure Mode unit. However, he's probably going to see a lot of use, which is very weird. And I don't know if I like that, I don't know if I don't like that, so we're going to go into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the showcase. So I've been playing around with this unit for a little bit now, and we were doing some runs with him. We did a couple different sets of content, and I couldn't find a great use for him as a captain. And then it dawned on me that you could use a V2 Shanks friend captain, because that would be a color-based captain. And Kizaru is also going to boost Int, so it works out, and you get your Int requirement done. And then I realized I need a Psi unit, and I was like, wait, I can bring V1 Law and use a Dofla Domingo team, so I can actually do that weird mechanic where you can get through all of the annoyingness that comes with barriers and a lot of enter turn damage. So you can actually use a V1 Law, V2 Dofi special to clear characters with barriers or damage reduction or whatever they have. So that part's nice. It actually enables another captain. It's just like Zoro Sanji, so you can do the same thing you did with Zoro Sanji, but you're going to be using it for a different character. While I'm doing this run, I'm playing around with a lot of different mechanics and trying to figure out different characters you can do. And what I figured out was that Zoro Sanji captain action is really good for swapping the orbs and getting any kind of orbs you want on any turn, which is really nice. But if you do want like a full board of Dex orbs, you can actually use the version 2 Shanks in order to get a full board of orbs. When the new Nami Legend comes out, I guess you'll be running a full Dex team, but you won't be running the V1 Shanks, but you could run V1 Shanks if you wanted to, and it allows you to get a full team. If you really did want to use like a double Nami team and then have just a V1 6+ Law as your sub, you just won't get a boost on that V1 6+ Law, but you will get a boost on the rest of your team, which could be really good, especially since this is going to be a 3.75 captain. And Dex captains might be coming in as a really good unit here in the future, just because of the ability to use the version 2 Doflamingo. Even though the side law doesn't get boosted, you probably get more than enough damage on those kinds of teams, which is very interesting, and I definitely want to play around with this some more. Well, this is the first time we're actually seeing some actual damage on there, and we're just using a that was just with the chain boost. There was nothing else but a chain boost. We did 1.5 million damage, and obviously Shanks carried through a lot of that damage, but at least 30 or 40% of that could have been lost if you're using a double Shanks captain. It would have been fine, but we're still getting a really good chunk of damage on a captain that's free to play with that can gateway into another legend. And of course, if you are using Zoro Sanji, you could use and not Zoro Sanji. If you're using V1 Law and Dofi, you could probably use those better captains. But let's say you didn't want to use those characters and you want to use other characters, it actually leaves you open for 2 different slots that you can bring for a whole other room of burst. So very interesting that you have lots and lots of options here, and I definitely want to play around with this more. What I did see was that anytime you have type advantage with the Dex units, it is a very big thing here. You can see in this turn, we're actually doing a massive amount of damage, much more than I was anticipating. And as you go higher in the chain, you can see we're at a 3.75 multiplier. And I think I had a great in the middle. I think you can go as high as 4 times with 4 characters, unless I did mess up. But you can see we did a big chunk of damage with no specials, and that is actually very surprising. I was not expecting to do this much damage with Kizaru, but that 1.5 times chain boost is actually pretty strong, especially if you're using the chain boost with Zoro Sanji. You can see here we got a mini chain boost in between, and getting that 3.75 chain boost with the Zoro Sanji. Now, going into the next room, the reason I swapped this to the Sanji version here, and I lose the captain ability from the Shanks, is because when I want to go into this next room, I actually want to switch to my Zoro Sanji to the Zoro version so I can get orbs. And of course, I get bad mismatching orbs here, so what I did was I just reset the game until I got orbs that I wanted, and then when I got the orbs I wanted, then I got 4 matching orbs here, which is more than enough. And then I was able to go in. I'm able to pop a Kizaru special because it's a 3-turn burst here, and I'm not going to be using it on following rooms. And it also locks my orbs, which is really helpful for multi-turn stages like this, where you're not going to actually clear everything in one turn, which is really only helpful in forests. This is not helping a ton of other spots, and I did hit a great here, which made it still fine. But with the type boost, you can see even without type advantage, we're still doing a decent chunk of damage, about 1.5 million damage. Not like a ton of damage, obviously, but still a decent amount. And we still have the type boost for this next turn here, which is actually more than enough to kill this Zoro and the Sanji, which is very surprising. And going into the final room here, you can see we're doing about 1.5 million damage. Not a ton, but I actually messed up by a little bit, and I was off by 1 turn. And I could, if I just held 1 more turn, we actually would have had Cavendish up turn 1. But it doesn't really matter. All I'm doing here in this turn 1 is just attacking a little bit, getting everybody just a little bit lower, so I have more overkill damage. It doesn't really matter. You don't have to do this. This is just because I had a turn to kill, and I said why not. But going into this final burst, I was actually really surprised with the amount of damage. I'm only able to hit with 4 units, but the amount of damage I did was actually pretty freaking high. And you can see here, just doing damage, get them around 50% or so if I can. We're gonna use Shanks to get 4 of the orbs. We're gonna use Cavendish for a conditional, using the Vanderdecken ship in order to get a conditional proc. Cavendish for conditional, a 2.25 orbs from the Zoro Sanji, boosting side and Dex orbs. And then we're going to use, and the Shanks is also giving us a 0.9 chain boost. So I wasn't really sure if Shanks would do too much damage here. So I was kind of like, you know what, I'm just going to hit a great here and then see how it goes. And then like halfway through my attack, I was like, oh, perfect. So going into this, you can see we actually do a very, very high amount of damage with just Orb Boost, Type Boost, Conditional, and Chain Boost. If we had Color Affinity here, that would have been even more, and if we had all the orbs, obviously even more, but definitely kind of interesting to see that we had a lot of damage here. And if I actually had an orb on the Law, it would actually be a ton of damage. So there's almost a 13 million damage hit, and then we're going to go in the final room, use the V1 Law, and then the V2 Dovey, and we're done. Guys, well, my name is Sekapoko. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you smack the like button down below, as well as the subscribe button down below, so we get lots of support in the channel, and of course, keep the channel growing. If you guys do want to get notifications on all my videos, make sure you hit the bell notification right next to it so you get notifications every time I drop a video. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Peace.